Hello, welcome back to Reading Success Academy. In this live lesson, we're going to go through some third grade level words that have the oo sound and the u sound. So oo and long u, and we have some different spellings for those. And some of the spellings for both of those sounds are the same. So we'll take a look at those. If you want to follow along with paper and pencil, go ahead and grab that now, and I'll show you how you can set up your paper so you can follow this lesson. We're not going to do all the words in the lesson. We're just going to do one of each of the spellings. But then if you would like, you can request the list and all the worksheets that go with this lesson if you need a little bit more help with this. All right, let's take a look at some of these words. All right, our spellings we're going to work with are U, consonant E. So you would mark this with a U and then just a line down here and then E. Then underline it and leave some space for the words that we have examples for of this. And then we have EW, OO, OUGH. Yes, all of those letters all working together to make an oo sound. And then U by itself. We'll see some examples of each of those. Whenever you're ready, we'll move on into it. If you're not quite set up for this, make sure you watch the recording because I always post those for you. All right, let's take a look at a U consonant E spelling of oo. In my favorite month, which is June, it's my favorite month because that's when my birthday is. And what we'll do is we'll put this in our U consonant E column. And I'm going to use red for that. But you can use whatever colors you like, and you're going to color code these so you can see where that oo or u sound is in the word. So for June, there are only 3 sounds. We have j, oo, n, but we have 4 letters because the u and the e are working together to make one sound. When we write this word, we're going to say each sound as we write the letters. So it'll look and sound like this. J, oo, n, June. So we've made all the sounds, but because of that E at the end, it doesn't get its own sound. So we're not going to say anything else here. We're just going to write it in there and underline it. And we'll hook that together with the U to show that these two work together to make one sound. June. This little smiley face is just a little reminder to put the E on the end. So when you're studying these words and you're trying to remember how to spell it, remember that little smiley face with it. If June has a smiley face, you know you've got to put an E on the end. All right, let's take a look at another word. Now we have amuse. Now in this word, the U consonant E pattern, it looks exactly the same, right? U consonant E, but it's making a U sound in this word. Amuse, not an oo sound like in June. If we said oo like in June, it would sound like amuse, which is very different than amuse. So you can still put this in your U consonant E column. Just remember that you're going to say U when you get to this part. Let me grab my black. There we go. So we're going to break this into 2 chunks though, because amuse has 2 vowel sounds, which means we have 2 chunks in the word. We want to just spell one chunk at a time so we don't get overwhelmed with too many letters, too many sounds at once. So we're going to spell first. We're going to say and we're going to put an I stopper in right here to break this word up. The I stoppers help break up the words so we're not focused on all the letters at the same time. And now we're going to do muse. Switch to your color. U. And then S. And then switch back to add that E on the end. Now you might pronounce this word amuse or amuse. I actually put a little bit of a Z sound in it when I pronounce it. And it just kind of depends on what region you're in. There's different accents, different ways to pronounce words. But it's fine either way, amuse or amuse. I've just heard it most commonly as a Z sound at the end. It's very common to have an SE at the end of a word that can be a S or a Z, either one. So if you're sounding out a new word and it has SE at the end, be ready to try either sound. It can be S or Z. Now we've got an OO spelling of oo here. We also have two letters that make one sound right here. The SE is a S sound in this word. So we're just going to say S when we get to this part when we're writing it. We're going to hold that sound while we write both of those letters. Same thing with the oo. We're going to hold oo while we write the O and the O, and we don't stop until we're done. I need to pick a color for this. Let's go with this yellow. So in my column, mark OO. That's where I'm going to write this. Now let's listen for those sounds in moose. We have oo, s. 3 sounds, but we have 5 letters. That's because we have 2 groups of 2 letters working together. Now let's say each sound as we write the letters. Ooh. Underline your oo. And then s, holding that sound while you write both of them. Now this word only had 1 vowel sound in it, so we don't have to put any eye stoppers in. All right, let me clean up my moose before we go on to our next word. And it's going to be on the next slide. Okay, let's keep going. All right, now we have an EW spelling, and that is an oo sound. Now we have a couple things going on in this word. We have SH working together to make one sound. So we'll group those together. It's important to be able to see those before you try to start reading a word. If you can identify 2 or more letters that make one sound, you already know what to say when you get there. Now, if you don't know what sounds to make when you see a group of letters like that together, then that's when you need to reach out to me about reading classes, because I teach you all the different spellings for the different groups of letters that make one sound. Okay, so we have sh here, and we're going to have an oo here. Now we'll just sound out the word. K, ash, cash, and then oo. And then you blend those two chunks together. Cashew. I'm tripping over my tongue today. All right, so this one's going to go in your EW column. I'm going to go ahead and remove some of those marks so they don't carry over. And I'll make a new column. This will be my EW list. And we're going to break this word into chunks. We're not going to try to spell it all at once. We're going to do cash first and then oo. And we're going to put an eye stopper in. 2 vowel sounds, so we're going to break it into 2 chunks. Cash, k, a, sh. Group these 2 letters together. Put an eye stopper in. And then our second chunk is oo. Hold that oo sound while you write both letters. Ooh. And underline that oo sound. We underline our target sound, the sound that we're working on, which is oo and u. Okay, now we have UE together for that long U sound. So you can either put this in a column by itself, marked UE, or if you just want to put it in your U consonant E column, you could do that too, because really it's the U and the E working together. It's just that they're not separated in the word, or in these words. They are stuck together in this word, which is statue. So this is a 2-chunk word. Stat. U is how I want you to break this one up. Why? Because when you blend the T sound into long U, there's a little bit of a ch sound that pops in there. And if you let that sound come in while you're blending those together, you might be tempted to write CH in there. And we don't spell this word with CH. So I recommend saying stat U while you're spelling this one. All right, I'm going to go ahead and give this one a different color, a different column as well. I'm going to put it right over here. UE. And we're going to say each sound as we write the letters in the first chunk, which is stat. S, t, a, t, stat. Put in my eye stopper so we break it up a little bit. And then I'm going to change to my UE color and say U while I write both of them. And I'm going to underline that U sound, U-E. Statue. All right, now this is one of our bonus words in this list, but I picked this one because it has U by itself, making a long U sound. July. So we'll find our U by itself color. I'm going to make it pink like that. Okay, I'll just put it right down here. I'm going to say each sound as we write the letters. J. U. This one you could say is either one, July or July. July. And let's do one more word. This is where your oo sound is spelled with 4 letters, O-U-G-H. So this one gets a different color. Use this one. Ooh, and you want to hold that oo sound while you write all 4 of them. And that's what we're going to do when we write this. And hopefully my microphone plays nicely. Sometimes when I hold a sound for a long time, it cuts out a little bit. All right, so we're going to write the word through, which is actually only 3 sounds. Can you believe that? We have 1 sound here, 1 sound here, and 1 sound here. So we have 7 letters for 3 sounds. It's a lot. All right, let's go ahead and write through down here. Saying each sound as you go. Th. R. Group together my th. And I group them together so that I remember it takes 2 letters to make that sound. Anytime you can give yourself a visual clue of something that's out of the ordinary maybe, or something that you might forget, it's going to be more helpful that way. Visual clues are great, especially the colors. All right, now hold that oo sound while you write all 4 of them. You might want to take a big deep breath first. Ooh. Ooh, all of that is ooh. Ooh, through. All right, well, I gave you a sample of each of those spellings that can make an oo sound or a u sound. And if you'd like the rest of this list and the worksheets that go with it, make sure you send me an email to hello@readingsuccessacademy.com. I'll be happy to help you with that. All of my spelling classes are at spellingclasses.com if you need a little bit more help with your spelling at any grade level from 1 through middle school. I have all of those covered in my classes. All right, I will see you next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I'll have some more spelling lessons for you. Until then, have a great weekend. And if you haven't already subscribed, do it now so you'll see when I go live next. Bye.